My roommate said I contributed nothing to the house, so I showed them what nothing looks like. Sarah and Jessica were sisters who'd turned our apartment into their personal kingdom, and I was the peasant they wanted to exile. They had been there 6 months before me, which apparently meant they could act like they owned the place. They'd rearrange the living room without asking, implement house rules that somehow only applied to me, and hold whispered conferences in the kitchen that stopped the second I walked in. It started small with passive-aggressive post-its on everything. Please don't use our cast iron pan appeared one morning, even though I'd brought it from home. Then came, kitchen closes at 10 p.m. for those who work early. Funny, considering they both bartended until 3 a.m. The food situation escalated fast. They devour my groceries and leave the empty containers in the fridge like trophies, then complain I was taking up too much space with actual food. My almond milk became their smoothie base. My meal prep containers mysteriously emptied by Tuesday. When I started labeling everything, they called a house meeting about how labels were creating a hostile environment. By month 3, they were manufacturing incidents. I'd come home from a 12-hour shift to find dishes in the sink, and Sarah standing there with her phone out, documenting the mess I always leave. They created a shared Google Doc titled Household Concerns that read like fiction. My favorite entry, leaves excessive hair in shower drain. I have black hair. They're both bottle blonde. The drain was clogged with bleached strands, but sure, blame me. They'd blast music until 4 a.m. on weeknights, then file noise complaints when I ran my coffee grinder at 7. Jessica's boyfriend basically lived there rent-free, but when my friend crashed on the couch once after missing the last train, they threatened to call the landlady about unauthorized guests. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. They called another meeting. Sarah sitting at the head of our kitchen table like she was conducting a tribunal while Jessica stood behind her, arms crossed, trying to look intimidating in her Lululemon. "We need to talk about your future here," Sarah started, and then Jessica exploded. Sarah literally had to hold her back as she screamed that I was ruining their lives, that I didn't belong in their space. The whole performance felt rehearsed, but then Sarah smiled and dropped the real bomb. "We've already talked to Rachel. She agrees you're not a good fit. Your lease won't be renewed in June." She slid her phone across the table, showing texts with our landlady. "She's giving us final say on roommates going forward." That smirk on her face. They'd been planning this for months while I was trying to make it work. I laughed and told them I'd talk to Rachel myself. Sarah's smile widened. "She's on our side. We're the ones who've been here longer." But here's what they didn't know about our landlady. She valued money over everything else, and I'd never been late with rent. Not once. Rachel answered on the second ring and listened to everything. The harassment, the staged incidents, their admission that they'd been manipulating her. Then she said something beautiful. "You can leave whenever you want. You only pay for days you're there." Those girls, they'll figure it out. 3 days later, Sarah announced they were driving to Vermont for some cousin's baby shower. The second their car turned the corner, I called in every favor I had. My friend with the pickup truck, my coworker with the van, even my ex who still felt guilty about cheating. By noon, I had a moving crew. I took everything that was mine, and I mean everything. The couch I'd bought off Craigslist, the TV my parents gave me for my birthday, the kitchen table where they loved holding their little tribunals, the IKEA receipt had my name on it, the shower curtain, the bathroom rug, the Wi-Fi router, even the curtain rods I'd installed myself. 6 hours of systematic extraction while their stuff sat in neat piles in the center of the now empty living room. I documented everything with photos and video, dropped my keys with Rachel, and blocked them everywhere. They got back Sunday night to find their personal kingdom had become a barren wasteland. Rachel texted me. "They're freaking out saying you stole everything. I told them you only took what was yours. Now they're realizing they need someone for your room as soon as possible or they'll have to cover your rent. June is far away when you're paying triple." They never found anyone. Turns out people touring the apartment didn't appreciate getting an earful about their psycho ex-roommate who robbed them. Jessica's boyfriend mysteriously couldn't move in. Something about it being too expensive. By day 28, they were scrambling, begging Rachel for an extension. She gave them 24 hours. And when they couldn't come through with the money, she did something beautiful. She called every landlord in the campus area. Rachel ran in those circles, had coffee with them monthly. Difficult tenants, she told them. Manipulative, can't pay rent, drama makers. Last I heard, they're living 40 minutes from campus because every decent place mysteriously just got rented whenever they applied. They wanted me to contribute nothing, which granted. Now they know exactly what nothing looks like.